Russians are fleeing. They are escaping a tightening grip. This exodus is not just a trickle, but a flood of humanity seeking refuge from an increasingly oppressive regime. Families are torn apart, friends are separated, and lives are uprooted in the desperate search for safety and freedom. It is a grip of fear and oppression. The fear is palpable, a constant companion for those who remain. The oppression is suffocating, a heavy weight that crushes the spirit. Their leader, Vladimir Putin, is waging a war. This war is not just against foreign enemies, but against his own people. The destruction is widespread, the suffering immense, and the toll on the civilian population is incalculable. The crackdown on dissent is brutal and unrelenting. Protesters are arrested, families are torn apart, and the fear of reprisal is ever present. They flee from forced conscription. Young men are taken from their homes, their futures stolen from them as they are forced into the military. They flee from a government that silences dissent. The freedom of speech is a distant memory, replaced by a regime that tolerates no opposition. They flee from a future that holds no promise but prison or the grave. The choices are stark and grim: imprisonment or death. Their destination? A small island nation in Southeast Asia, thousands of miles away from the icy plains of Russia. A nation that offers a glimmer of hope in their darkest hour, the Philippines. This tropical paradise, with its warm climate and welcoming people, offers a chance for a new life. It is a beacon of hope for those fleeing the shadow of the Kremlin, a place where they can start anew and build a future free from fear and oppression. The exodus began slowly, a trickle of frightened souls escaping Putin's tightening grip. Then the war in Ukraine began. It became a flood. Men, women and children all fleeing for their lives. They left behind their homes, their families, their pasts. They carried with them only what they could carry, a few precious possessions, the clothes on their backs, and the heavy weight of their memories. Their journey is fraught with danger. They travel by land, by sea, by air. They navigate treacherous routes, dodging checkpoints and patrols. They risk arrest, imprisonment, even death. Their escape is a testament to their desperation. They are willing to risk everything for a chance at freedom. They are fleeing a frozen hell. They seek refuge in a tropical paradise. The Philippines seems an unlikely haven for Russian refugees. It is a world away, culturally and geographically, yet it has become a beacon of hope for those fleeing Putin's regime. Why the Philippines? The reasons are complex. The country has a history of welcoming refugees. It has a relatively relaxed visa policy, and perhaps most importantly, it is far from the reach of Putin's regime. Section 5, 1,000 miles from Moscow. Life in the Philippines is a world away from the lives they left behind. The tropical climate, the vibrant culture, the friendly people. It is a sensory overload. They grapple with a new language, new customs, a new way of life. Yet, amidst the challenges, there is a sense of relief. They are safe, for now. They are free from the constant fear that haunted them in Russia. They can breathe again. Section 6. Whispers in Tagalog. They build new lives for themselves in this strange new land. They find work, they learn the language, they make new friends, they form communities, sharing their stories and supporting each other. Section 7. Ferdinand Marcos Jr., a dubious savior. The Philippines, under the leadership of Ferdinand Marcos Jr., walks a delicate line. On one hand, the country has a policy of non-refoulement. It does not return refugees to countries where they face persecution. On the other hand, it does not want to antagonize Russia. Section 8. The long arm of the Kremlin. The fear is palpable. The chilling reality of living under the shadow of a powerful regime is something many dissidents know all too well. Can they ever truly escape Putin's reach? The question haunts them every day as they navigate their lives in constant fear. The Kremlin has a long history of silencing its critics, even those living abroad. Assassinations, poisonings, kidnappings. These are not just stories from the past, but ongoing threats. The methods are as varied as they are ruthless. From the infamous poisoning of Alexander Litvinenko to the nerve agent attack on Sergei Skripal, the message is clear. Dissent will not be tolerated. The refugees in the Philippines know this all too well. They have fled their homeland, seeking safety and a chance to speak freely, but the fear never truly leaves them. They live with the constant awareness that their past could catch up with them at any moment. Every knock on the door, every unfamiliar face is a potential threat.
The long arm of the Kremlin extends far beyond Russia's borders. It reaches into the lives of those who dare to speak out, no matter where they are. No one is truly safe. The sense of unease is a constant companion, a reminder that the Kremlin's reach is long and its grip is tight. The struggle for freedom and safety continues, but the shadow of fear remains ever present.
Section 9. Finding solace under the Philippine sun. Despite the ever-present danger, there is a sense of hope among the Russian refugees in the Philippines. They find solace in the warmth of the sun, the beauty of the islands, the kindness of the people. They find strength in their shared experiences, in their resilience, in their determination to build a better future for themselves and their children.
We have found a new community here. It's not perfect, but it's a chance to rebuild our lives.
Section 10. A fragile freedom. Their freedom is fragile, their peace precarious. They live with the knowledge that their sanctuary could be temporary. They know that their lives could be upended once more, yet they choose to focus on the present. They choose to embrace the opportunity to live in freedom, however long it may last. They choose to hope for a brighter future. Section 11. A plea for sanctuary. The plight of Russian refugees in the Philippines is a stark reminder of the human cost of authoritarianism. These individuals, driven from their homes by fear and oppression, seek safety and a chance to rebuild their lives. They carry with them stories of hardship, resilience, and an unyielding hope for a better future. It is a call to action for the international community. The world must recognize the urgency of this crisis and come together to provide the necessary support. Governments, organizations, and individuals alike have a role to play in offering aid and advocating for the rights of these displaced people. The world must stand with those fleeing tyranny. Solidarity is not just a word, it is a powerful force that can bring about change. By uniting our voices and efforts, we can send a clear message that oppression and violence will not be tolerated. We must provide them with refuge, a place where they can feel safe and begin to heal from their traumas. This means not only opening our borders, but also our hearts and communities to those in need, with support, with hope. These small acts of kindness can make a world of difference. They remind refugees that they are not alone, that there are people who care about their well-being and future. We must not allow Putin's reign of terror to extend beyond the borders of Russia. His actions have already caused immense suffering, and it is our duty to prevent further harm. By standing up against tyranny, we protect not only the refugees, but also the principles of freedom and justice. We must ensure that the Philippines remains a safe haven for those seeking sanctuary from oppression. This country has a long history of welcoming those in need, and it is crucial that this tradition continues. The safety and well-being of refugees depend on our collective efforts.
We must act now. The time for action is immediate. Delays and inaction can lead to further suffering and loss of life. Every moment counts when it comes to providing aid and support to those in desperate need. These refugees need our help, our solidarity, our voice. They need us to speak out on their behalf, to advocate for their rights, and to ensure that they are treated with dignity and respect. Our collective voice can make a significant impact. Let's not turn our backs on them. Let us open our hearts and extend our hands in support. Together we can make a difference in the lives of those who have lost so much. Let us be the beacon of hope they so desperately need.